All right, Shalom, Shalom, Israel, Shalom to the 12 tribes of Yahweh. You know, of course, all want to go and praise unto Yahweh Bahashem, Mahashiach, Malak Yahushua. That's all praises, honor, and glorification unto the Father Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahushua. This is your brother Yahweh.
Brother Abaya.
Khan, coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua. And we're not going to make this too long, but, through the spirit, maybe, 30 minutes, you know what I'm saying? But basically, the topic is what's going on in Babylon, right? And we know Babylon to be America, right? And let's just get preschool on that real quick. Because America is modern day Babylon, if you didn't know, right? America is modern day Babylon, if you didn't know. All right, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, right? Hold on, this is a better precept. Go to the book of Isaiah 13. Right? Actually, let me pull it up on the screen then, real quick. All right, so let's go to Isaiah 13. Can you see my screen?
Khan.
So let's pull up Isaiah 13 real quick. All right, let's get this. Isaiah 13 and verse 19, right? Isaiah 13 and 19. And Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, because America is the glory of kingdoms, right? America is the top kingdom and nation on the earth right now, right? The beauty of the Chaldees' excellency shall be as when God overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know that the overthrow of Babylon, ancient Babylon, right? Because you have the ancient Babylon, right? Just like how you have ancient Egypt, right? Let's go to ancient Babylon real quick. You had ancient Egypt, you had ancient Assyria, ancient Persia, then you had ancient Babylon, right? It is also called the Mesopotamian civilization, right? So you have the ancient Babylon as well. But guess what? This Babylon, right, that is speaking about right here in Isaiah 13 and 19 says that way the Most High is going to overthrow Babylon like it overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah. And we know what happened in Sodom and Gomorrah if we read Genesis the 13th through 15th chapter. Sodom and Gomorrah got destroyed with fire. You know what I'm saying? Fire from heaven. So America is going to get burnt up with fire from heaven. All right. You got precept by?
Khan. I don't know what precept to get, but I'll just get this real quick though. Revelation 17, verse 5, and it reads, And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery Babylon the Great, the mother of harlots and abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunken with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. Right? Now, who is that mother? That mother of harlots, the abominations of the earth. That's talking about America, right?
Mm-hmm.
It can't be talking about your people in Europe or anything like that. Because if you jump down to Revelation 17, verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. Now the 10 horns is going to the EU, right? These other nations, the European countries. It's not talking about America. America is Babylon the Great, and then the 10 horns talking about the EU. Those is prophesied in the Bible that they're going to hate the whore, which is Babylon. They're going to hate America, which is happening kind of right now, right? But it's going to get on a larger scale throughout history. But those going to be the people who destroy America. Moab, the Chinese man. You're going to have Russia, these other nations, right? So Babylon is America.
That's right. That's right. And I want to go back to this precept real quick in Isaiah 13. Because remember, when God overthrew ancient Babylon, it was through who? The Persian and Median Empire, right? And their overthrow wasn't like Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So this is how you know this is talking about a different Babylon, right? So it says in verse 20, it also says what? It shall never be inhabited, right? When America gets destroyed, it's not going to be inhabited. You're not going to be able to go to your old house and be like, yeah, this is where I did a lot of work at. You know what I'm saying? Oh yeah, I used to work when I was in the world. I used to work at this strip club. You know what I'm saying? Hey, that's not going to be happening in the kingdom, right? It shall never be inhabited. Now shall it be dwelt in from generation to generation. Hold up now. when you go to ancient Babylon, right? Let's go to the location, right? People still go here. People still dwell here in ancient Babylon, right? It's like in a place where ancient Babylon civilization was at, because it's in modern day Iraq. People live in Iraq, right? You see that today? That's about 60 miles south of Baghdad, Iraq. People live in Iraq. So what is this talking about? It's talking about a different Babylon. Talking about America. You see that? Now they shall be dwelt in from generation to generation. Now they shall the Arabian pinch tent there. Now they shall the shepherds make their fold there. You see that? So the Arabian is not going to pinch tent there. You got Arabians in damn Iraq right now. You know? So this is talking about a different Babylon. And so America is Babylon. All right? That you read in Revelation um, 17, 18 chapter. Con. But yeah, we can get into, unless you had another precept.
Come on, we can get into it.
So yeah. So as you know, we got the, let me share my screen again. You got the inauguration tomorrow, right? When the inauguration, Slovakia, of 2020, Slovakia 2021, in which what? Because you might have Israelites that's saying, hey, what, you might ask a brother, hey, what do you think about the inauguration? And they're going to be like, some Israelites, they might even say, what's that, right? What do you mean? What's going on, right? Hey, they're not watching because hey, this goes into watching, right? Let's go to the book of Mark, 13th chapter. All right, let's go to the book of Mark, the 13th chapter, and the 32nd book. But of that day and that hour knows no man, knowing not the angels which are in heaven, not the Son, but the Father. So you don't know when the day Yahweh shall coming back. That's what he's saying. You don't know the day when all hell is going to break loose, right? Take ye heed, watch and pray, for you know not when the time is. So you don't know what time all hell is going to break loose. That's why you got to watch. You know what I'm saying? Constantly be watching, right? I'm skip down to verse 37. And what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. You can't be a brother that doesn't even know that the inauguration is tomorrow, right? Hey, you shouldn't be like that, right? You got precept?
There's a book of Proverbs, chapter 27, verse 12. A prudent man foreseeth the evil and hideth himself. So a prudent man, he foreseeth the evil. Now he's that spiritual watchman, physical and spiritual, right? He knows about to go on. His prophecies about to take place and things of that nature, right? Because he's prudent. He's being diligent and things of that nature. He's foreseeing that evil. But let's keep going. But the simple pass on and are punished. But the simple one pass on. They think tomorrow is going to be a normal day. They don't believe that all hell could break loose tomorrow. They think everything happening right now is normal, but they don't understand that this is all prophecy. All
Yeah,
prophecy lead up to all hell breaking loose. So if all hell break loose tomorrow or not, it's still prophecy coming to pass that the Lord's doing to stir up things, the race wars and things of that nature. But come on.
that's right. And this is all the Lord is doing, man. You know, because let's go to the book of Proverbs 21 and 1. The Lord is storing up the hearts of these people. You know, let's go to the book of Proverbs 21 and 1. The king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. As the rivers of water, he turneth it whithersoever you will. So the king's heart in your modern day king are who? The prime ministers, presidents, stuff like that. Right? So these modern day kings, the Most High their heart is in the hand of the Most High. Right? The Lord, he, as the rivers of water, right? He turneth it whithersoever he will. If if they, Trump is compelled, or let's say Biden, right? If Biden is compelled to go to war with Iran, guess what? The Most High made Biden do that, right? You know what I'm saying? If it's in Trump's mind or heart to rouse up the people once more before he, finally leaves the office, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's the Most High, right? Turning his heart whethersoever he will. You know what I'm saying? Calm.
I just want to say, I'm led to believe, as a man speaking, of course, that Donald Trump, his head about to get taken off for real tomorrow. I'm led to believe he might get assassinated or something, or very soon at least, or something, man. I'm
Mm-hmm.
led to believe that because his prideful behind, he might not want to leave. Something gonna happen. And don't forget, a year ago, he kind of assassinated the
Mm-hmm.
Iranian general, right? Just about over a year ago. Not much, days. So I wouldn't be surprised if he get kind of jacked up.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, Trump might actually get jacked up because they sent out that kind of like a hit, or they wanted to lock him up, for that, right? They wanted to lock him up, you know. So we're in perilous times. Let's go to the book of Second Timothy. All right, let's go to the book of Second Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. All right, Second Timothy, chapter 3, and verse 1. Oh, that's going up. This could be a wake up call for a lot of Jakes, man. That's kind of half stepping in this, you know. Second Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come. And we're in the perilous times, right? Let's look at this definition real quick. We're in the perilous times right now, right? Perilous means what? Full of danger or risk. Let's look at this definition real quick. Right? Full of danger or risk, exposed to imminent risk of disaster or ruin. Dangerous. So we're in dangerous and unsafe, so safe and risky, uncertain, insecure, critical, and desperate times, man. Right? And like how it says, let's go to the book of Salaki. Let's hold. You want to go to the book of Second Peter, right? Salaki. Let me see. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse. I'm gonna go to this real quick. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. All right, Salaki. Second Peter chapter 3 and verse 10. But the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, right? You don't know when the day of the Lord is coming, right? In the which the heaven shall pass away with a great noise, meaning that these kingdoms, right? Those are the heavens right now, right? The kingdoms, you know, it's going to pass away with a great noise, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat, right? That fervent heat being what? The thermonuclear fire. What the hell? Right? The earth also and the works that are therein shall be burned up. So all of this is going to be burned up. Your computer, damn, our schools, right? Our phones, our houses, all that's going to be burned up, right? It says, hey, even wicked people, man. But it says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holy conversation and godliness? You see that? So Peter was like, hey, what kind of people should you be in these last days, right? Should you be a damn Negro in the world? Should you be a damn wicked Eve, right? Should you be a stripper? You know what I'm saying? Should you be a hoe right now? Or should you be in all manner of holy conversation and godliness, keeping the commandments in the faith, man? Trying to be on fire and blameless, you know? You got a precept out?
Con, not with that, but Con, you still got a point on that. You go ahead.
Con. No, you got it. You got it.
Con, I just want to make a different point real quick
Mm-hmm.
about how these race wars about to come to pass because you gotta understand Babylon got characteristics from all these different nations. But
Oh,
upon its Persian and Medes, you had the Persian and you had the Median Empire, right? It's kind of like, it was one people versus another, but it was kind of in the same empire though. The same thing how you got the Union and the Confederate,
mm-hmm.
same nation, but it was always one against another, right? But now it's about to get deeper, a lot deeper. It's about to get race wars. It's about to have, so-called white people versus so-called black people. You got Confederates versus what liberals. You got all these different, versus things going against each other, right? Now
Mm-hmm.
Matthew 12 and verse 25 reads, "And Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, Every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand." Now go ask the Persian and the Medes, did their kingdom stand? It didn't, right? Because how
Mm-hmm.
can a kingdom stand if y'all can't agree? Let me get that real quick.
Mm-hmm. Amos 3.
Um, Amos chapter 3, so in verse 3, and it reads, "Can two walk together except they be agreed?" So can two walk together except they be agreed? Can Donald Trump and Biden walk together? They cannot. They do not agree. That's why all hell. That's why you got all hell breaking loose right now. Can these Democrats and Republicans, get along and walk together? They got different so-called, viewpoints. That's why it's so called that George Washington said, I learned this in history. I don't know if it's true or not, but he said, "Do not, make two different parties because the country will fall apart." Something to that nature. You know what I'm
Okay.
talking about?
Actually.
Yeah, he said something like that. He said, "Don't make two different parties because you don't something like you gotta look it up yourself." Right,
Mm-hmm.
but he said something like that. My history teacher told me that. It's back in school, right? But hey, he was right. That devil was right. They made two different parties, and guess what? All hell's breaking loose now. All hell's breaking loose. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Verse 26. "And if Satan cast out Satan, he is divided against himself. How then his kingdom stand? So, like, how shall then his kingdom stand? And his kingdom is not standing. It's slowly crumbling apart, slowly but surely. All right. Look, I just want to touch on that.
Come on, man. Come on. That's right. You got these damn Democrats, Republicans. That's why Biden, um, it's like, let me just stop sharing. That's why you got Biden saying, I'm a president that, doesn't see red states or blue states, but the United States, right? That's some corny stuff, but he's trying to, unify America again, even from the start of America. And I'm taking a push. What is that? That's AP US history. Even from the start of America, America was divided. You had the Whigs, right? You had the Federalists. You had all these different parties forming, especially during the Second Great Awakening. You had multiple religions being formed out of Protestantism, right? You had the Lutherans, even with religion, man. You had all these different religions, Presbyterian, Baptist, right, which emerged in the 1840s, right? So even from the start of America, and America's pretty young, even from the start of America, hey, America was divided, So it's just a moment of time in which America will fall, you know. Because let's go to this precept.
Yeah, that's what it was, I think. He said, don't make two different parties or two
Hmm.
different cabinets or something like that. I don't even know. I think it's
Um,
parties, though.
you see that? And that kind of makes sense too, because George Washington, devil, like, but he was credited the creation of the cabinet, right? A president will have the cabinet, his own group of people, and guess what? They were all on one accord, right? But hey, yeah, and that's how you know that Esau's time is up, because Esau, these different Edomites, they fight against each other, even though you got Russia against America, but they're from the same nation, Esau. You know what I'm saying? So come on, and let's get this in the book of Revelation. It's the book of Revelation, chapter. Let's see, right? Revelation chapter 17. Right, Revelation chapter 17 and verse 16. And the 10 horns. The 10 horns is going into the original EU, right? Which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. So they're going to start hating the whore, man. And who's the whore? The whore is America, Babylon the Great. All right. It says, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And these nations are making her naked right now, making her exposed. Everybody sees the sins of America. You know what I'm saying? Let's get that in the book of Nahum. It's the book of Nahum, chapter 3, and verse. Nahum chapter 3 and verse. Salakia. Oh, Salakia, not Nahum. It's a Hold on. Let me find this precept real quick. Salakia. Hold on, Zephaniah, right? Zephaniah chapter 2 and verse 14. And flocks shall lie down in the midst of her, all the beasts of the nations, both the cormorant and the bittern shall lodge in the upper lintels of it. Their voice shall sing in the wilderness. It's like in the widows. Desolation shall be in the thresholds, for he shall uncover the Kedar work. So these nations and the Most High ultimately is exposing America. Everybody sees America for what it really is, you know, that the damn devil on the earth, the whore. Even like it says, the damn Iranians are calling America the Great Satan, you know. So,
Mm. It's just the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 3.
mm,
Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen. I will take vengeance, and I will not meet thee as a man. So the Lord is uncovering, Babylon's, nakedness. That's why she was called the virgin daughter of Babylon, because she'd never really been touched, right? And she never
mm-hmm,
really been attacked or anything like that. But now, hey, all hell kind of breaking loose in Babylon. You had the
mm-hmm,
so-called American dream. You had, all this good things happening. The white, picket fence, kids playing in the, in the grass. All hell kind of breaking loose with the kids, playing in the
okay.
grass. But now all hell is actually breaking loose. You got different people going against each other of the same nation. Edomites, man. So the Lord is slowly lifting up that dress, right? But when you lift up that dress and you see the nakedness, that's the secret parts. Now
Mm-hmm,
these, the Russians, the EU, these other nations, the Moabites, they're seeing who Babylon really is, man. Who she really is under that dress,
mm-hmm,
right? Because the lady, she can say that she's a virgin. She can come up to you, hey, I'm a virgin, whoop you whoop, and then like, you kind of go into her. Yeah, you know, she kind of been rent. She got a lot of mileage, as Malcolm said, with the car, man. You know,
Go on, go on. And let me get this in Isaiah 47 as well. Isaiah 47 and 2. Take the millstones and mill. What does that mean? Because Babylon is a woman, right? Babylon is a woman. So a very common occupation of women, like it says in the book of Exodus and also the book of Matthew, the 24th chapter, in the 40 something verse, it says that women were basically their one of their main occupations in handmaid was to grind mill, right? They'll take the millstones and they'll grind the mill, right? Let me just get one precept on that real quick. Matthew chapter 24 and verse um 41. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. You see that? So that was the main that was one of the main occupations of women during that time. So what the Most High is saying to Babylon is what? Go into captivity, right? Grind the mill. You know what I'm saying? Uncover thy locks. What does that mean? Uncover thy locks, right? That means, hey, we don't have to get too specific. You should understand what that means. Uncover thy locks. Make bare the leg, right? Make bare the leg, uncover the thigh. Meaning you're going to be exposed, man, lifting up the skirt, and that's pretty embarrassing if you think about it. And it says pass over the rivers. You see that? So,
uh,
yeah.
yeah, the Lord about to have His way with her, about to get
Mm-hmm.
destroyed, man.
Mm-hmm. That's right. And like it says in Revelation, shall make her naked, you know, shall make her naked. So these nations, through the Most High through these nations is making America naked, and ultimately these nations are going to what? Burn America with fire. You know, that's the ultimate judgment upon this nation. You know, that fire. There's a precept on that real quick. Let's go to the book of Genesis. It's the book of Genesis, chapter 19 and verse 23, right? As Genesis chapter 19 and verse 23. Because America is not only modern day Babylon, but it's also modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, right? I did a video on that through the spirit. Modern day Sodom and Gomorrah going into how America, the parallels between America and Sodom and Gomorrah. You know what I'm saying? But if you didn't know, Sodom and Gomorrah were two cities that were heavy into all manner of fornication. So fornication is so-called immoral sex by definition. So what is that going to? Fornication is like an umbrella, and there's things that fall under that. So is one type of fornication is what? Adultery, right? Another type is homosexuality. Another type is bestiality, right? Etc. Right? So let's keep going. Genesis chapter 19, verse 23. The sun was risen upon the earth when Lot entered into Zoar. Then the Lord rained upon Sodom and upon Gomorrah brimstone and fire from the Lord out of heaven. So the Lord sent down fire and brimstone upon Sodom and Gomorrah and destroyed it. That's fire from heaven. Hey man, Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15 through 16. You know, the Lord is coming with fire with his chariots again. You know what I'm saying? Verse 25. And he overthrew those cities and all the plain and all the inhabitants of the cities and that which grew upon the ground. Right? So the Most High, he destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah with fire. And we know that that which had been is that which shall be done. Right? According to the book of Ecclesiastes. So the Most High is going to destroy modern day Sodom and Gomorrah using the same method. Fire and brimstone, ultimately. Um,
Huh. I got no precept.
um,
What do you want to get into now?
oh, Con, I thought you said you had a precept.
Oh,
Con. So, Con, yeah, uh, let me pull this up real quick. So, there should be no brother saying, what the hell is an inauguration? There should be no brother saying how many days Trump got office. There should be no brother saying who won the election. Okay, but all right. So like we were saying, hey, Israel should be watching, right? Because we're living in exciting times, like the brother always says, right? We're living in exciting times, and the whole world is on basically their the edge of their seat, trying to figure out and trying to watch what's going to happen, right? On this, tomorrow. Well, tomorrow for me, for Abaya, it's basically today, you know. So we're going to see what the Most High has in store for this. We're going to see what the Most High has in store for this. Because you got 25,000 troops here, in the national, let's see, the 25,000 troops. Right. Now check this out. Right. It says not taking any chances. 25,000 National Guard in EC on eve of inauguration day. See that? 25,000. See? Not taking any chances. Fears of insider attack at inauguration force FBI to vet 25,000 National Guard troops. So, hey, they're fearing an inside attack. You know what I'm saying? They're fearing an inside attack because no one will be foolish enough to pull up and start shooting these damn troops. And if they're that foolish, hey, it would just be Edomite on Edomite. But you know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High.
Come
Cool.
That's right. Yeah. All hell about to break loose this spirit. If it's not, today, if it's not January 20th, it's definitely soon.
Cool. That's right. And we've been telling y'all, man, it's coming. Let me get this precept. All right, let me get this precept in Ezekiel chapter 12.
Con.
Son of man, what is this proverb? Most high, bro. Let's get this precept real quick. All right. Hey, I'm gonna start at one. Also, let me share my screen. Son of man. Con and also I'm slacking, not W. So milk, right, is when you see son of man in the scriptures, it's not always talking about Yahweh. In some cases it is, some cases it's not. Like, for example, Ezekiel was called son of man, Daniel was called son of man. But they're not Yahweh, right? Yahweh was called son of man multiple times. Daniel chapter 7 and Revelation 1. All right, let's get into this. Ezekiel chapter 12, verse 1. The word of the Lord also came unto me, saying, Son of man, right? It's talking to Ezekiel. Thou dwellest in the midst of a rebellious house, which have eyes to see and see not, for they have ears to hear and hear not, for they are a rebellious house. Israel, stop being such a rebellious house, man. All right? That's a shame that the Most High has to tell us, his own people, that we're a rebellious house, man. All right? That's a shame, man. You know? Stop being so rebellious. Like how the brother Malachi said, people wondering why we going through this, why we suffering so much. Stop sinning. Stop being so damn rebellious and humble down and submit unto the Most High. You know, come on, but let's. I'm gonna get to the point.
That's right.
Yeah, come on. Ezekiel chapter 12 and verse 21. And the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying, the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Meaning that what? Nothing really is going on. You're always saying all that end of the world stuff. Hey, why are we still here? How
My
come?
great grandpa told me about that and still didn't happen.
Yeah, kind of still hasn't happened. You've been saying that, right? Why don't you go sit down somewhere? You've been saying that for the last 20 years that the end of the world is coming, you know. So the Most High, hey, he's saying the days are prolonged and every vision failed, right? The Most High was like, what the hell is this? It's proverb, right? Verse 23. Tell them therefore, and proverb is like, in this case, would be like, a saying, right? That people have. But it says, tell them therefore, thus saith the Lord God, I will make this proverb to cease, right? And they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand and the effect of every vision. So the days are at hand right now. The Most High, he's going to hasten up these prophecies, right? It says, for there shall be no more any vain vision nor flattering divination within the house of Israel, right? Saying that, and this can also go into what you saying that, basically, oh, well, it's going to get better, right? It's going to get better. Just wait until Biden is in office. He'll set things straight. You know what I'm saying? That's a vain vision,
Yeah.
right? Come on. It says, "For I am the Lord; I will speak, and the word that I will speak shall come to pass. It shall no more be prolonged. For in your days, O rebellious house, will I say the word, and will perform it, saith the Lord God. See that?
Straight like that.
Straight like that. Yeah, precept.
Con. This is the book of Habakkuk. Same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Chapter 2, verse 3. For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Yeah, so it's for an appointed time. Jake don't understand that. Yeah, my great grandma been telling me that it still didn't happen. The Bible is just a book of fairy tales. How come the Lord's doing this to us? All these proverbs, man, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't understand it's for an appointed time. But it says, but Slakia, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So at the end it's going to speak, right? Just because you're saying something's not going to happen, amen. The Bible says it's going to speak. Thus saith the Lord, right? It shall not lie and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it. So though it's taking a long time, though it's not coming on your own, on your time, it says
Mm-hmm.
wait for it because it will surely come. It will not tarry. Because when it comes, it's going to come fast. That's what the Lord says. He's going to come like a thief. He's going to come quickly with his reward. Hey, though it tarry, he's going to come quickly. When it hits, you're going to be like, dang, I wish I were prepared, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because it's going to come quick out of nowhere. That's what it's talking about, right? It's not going to tarry. People
Mm-hmm.
believe that a famine is not about to hit America, man,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, you really got people thinking Babylon won't get destroyed. People,
Mm-hmm.
people actually have, I was even thinking about this in the world. Like, people really believe that this is life. Like, this is it. Like,
Mm-hmm.
America is like, it's going to last forever. Well, people in Egypt thought the same thing, right? People
Mm-hmm.
in ancient Babylon, people in the, Persian and Medes, people in the Greece, captivity. Hey, people in the Roman captivity thought their kingdom was going to last. Right?
Yeah,
They're all under the dust.
that's right. That's right. Stoned.
Destroyed.
Con. Like that people in Pompeii, that mountain that got erupted. See that? They had no idea, man. You know, Con, that made me think of this precept, Psalm chapter 49, verse 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names. See that? So the Edomites really think that their houses shall continue forever. See that? Because when you go to the book of Job, right? Let's go to Job 12 real quick. Job chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacle, sorry, the tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke God are secure. What the hell? Into whose hand God bringeth abundantly. So they think that just because the Most High is blessing them on the left hand side, giving them, making them prosper, allowing them to be secure, allowing them to have abundance, they think that they're going to last forever. Well, guess what, Esau? News flash, right? Breaking news. Your kingdom is going to fall, right? And it's coming. Come on. It's coming, man. Right? Swiftly. Right? Swiftly. Like, let's get this real quick. Revelation 16. I like this precept. Revelation 16 and so like 15. It says, Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth. And that's what we're doing right here. We're watching, right? And keeping his garments. You're keeping the commandments, keeping the faith. You're checking yourself, right? You're checking your spirit, because that's what it's going into. Your garments. It's your spirit. Lest he walk naked, right? Lest he walk in sin, right? And they see his shame. So the Most High, he's coming. It's like Yahushua, he's coming as a thief, man, right? Gone to take this kingdom away and restore a righteousness throughout the earth. You know.
Precept. This book of Job, chapter 14, verse 5. Seeing his days are determined, the number of his months are with thee, thou hast appointed his bounds that he cannot pass. So the Lord, on a very, in layman's terms, he has a doomsday clock, right? There's a certain time where he's going to crack that sky open and destroy this place, right? Because Babylon cannot over exceed the time limit that the Most High Yahweh, while Yahweh Shah has for him, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's 11:59. He cannot go past 12 o'clock p.m. 12 o'clock, p.m. or a.m. If you have ears to hear, it cannot go past that time.
Mm-hmm.
12 a.m. How about that? 11:59. So he cannot go past that time, right? Let me get this real
Mm-hmm.
quick. So Lord, you know, he's all over that.
That's right. And Esau has his own little doomsday clock, right? Let's get this real quick. Because the Most High, he has his own doomsday clock, which is right on time. And Esau, he's trying to be like the Most High, but so the doomsday clock, I guess they haven't changed it, but it's saying that it's closer than it ever was since 1953. It's closer than ever. It is 100 seconds to midnight. You see
You
that?
see that?
And you see that? And at midnight, all hell's we're gonna break loose, right?
That's the noonday right there, man.
Oh, right. And what's that precept at Revelation? That's like not Revelation. Matthew 25, the foolish version. Matthew chapter 25 and verse. Um, man, this parable is going
Yeah,
in.
that's parable, guys.
Come on, I think I want to pull it up on the screen maybe. Uh, Matthew chapter 25. So let me see it. So it says that's closer than ever, right? 100 seconds to midnight. Let's see what that's kind of talking about, right? Matthew chapter 25. I'm gonna start at 4, right? It says, "But the wise took oil in their vessels with their lamps." Hey, they have to understand it, right? You have to be these wise virgins, right? Because you have 5 unwise virgins, you have five. It's like you have 5 foolish virgins, and you have 5 wise virgins, right? And you have to be the wise that took oil in their lamps, right? Meaning that way you have to understand it. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Verse, like how it says in the book of Second Ezra, chapter 16, it says, "Fear not, for I am your guide, the guide of them that keep my commandments and precepts." Right? You got to keep the commandments and the precepts. Right? Verse 5, while the bridegroom tarried, they all slumbered and slept. Right? Because remember, the bridegroom tarried how? Yahweh Shai, he went away 2,000 years ago. Right? And they all slumbered and slept, meaning that what we went back into the world. Right? All Israel at one point in time went back into the world. And that's like it says in the book of chapter 26 verse. Right? But this is the awakening right now. Right? It says, and at midnight, you see that? There was a cry made, Behold, the bridegroom cometh, go ye out to meet him. You see that? Meaning that what? Yahweh Shah, he's right there. Let's go. You know? And we already know Yahweh Shah comes back. Oh, hell was breaking loose.
Yeah, that's it. When Yahweh Shai come back, that is it,
Mm-hmm.
right? But that
Come
precept,
on.
precept of Second Esdras, chapter 7, verse 43. But the day of doom shall be the end of this time, and the beginning of the immortality for to come, wherein corruption is past. But it's just the day of doom. So Esdras, hey, people back then, they was already hip about the doomsday. They're already hip about it. You got your, Edomite. Yeah, I just heard about, this place might get destroyed. I just looked online, about the doomsday. So I'm building this bunker. Esdras were already hip to it, man. These prophets were already hip to what's about to go down in doomsday, man. Doomsday is AKA noonday.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Same
That's
thing.
right.
I'm getting another precept real quick. This is the book of Psalms, chapter 37 and verse 13. The Lord shall laugh at him, for he seeth that his day is coming. The Lord's laughing at them, man. They know his day is coming, man. Talking about it is 100 seconds to midnight. So they already know what's going on. Even on Independence Day, right? They had this, they opened the kind of this case and everything. It was counting down. Then it hit zero. The next thing you know, the big behind, so-called father, the mothership, the fathership, the big chariot. Right when it
Mm-hmm.
hit zero, all hell broke loose. He started destroying this place, man. See, they already
And
know what's going on, right?
see that? Ah, that's right. Yeah. Hollywood knows the truth, man. They have that. Yeah, I watched that too. The Independence Day. You know, yeah, these Edomites think that they're gonna win. You know, and be like that guy from Independence Day. Come on, man, that's off, man. You can't fight against the Most High. You know, that's off.
So like, hold on.
Yeah.
Pretty sure real quick. So we go Isaiah chapter. So like, I'm in Psalm. I'm tripping. This is the book of Isaiah,
Come.
chapter 45, verse 9. It reads, "Woe unto him that striveth with his maker." Now, who's trying to strive with his maker? Hey, you got the Edomites, the so-called white man, Esau. He's trying to strive against the Most High, his maker. What type of
Mm-hmm.
what type of hell is that? You have to be
Uh-huh.
a demon. You have to have a strong delusion to think you can fight against the Most High, the
Mm-hmm.
omnipotent Most High God, man. Right? Like
Mm-hmm.
what? Like, they got a strong delusion, man. They
That's
made
right.
this what's it called? The Space Force. You know, if you go, type of YouTube Space Force workout, or you kind of see them jumping over logs and things of that nature. Meanwhile, you got the angels that can disappear, melt in the melt in the midst of the sky, turn invisible. They got chariots that can't get destroyed, right? But they're over here jumping over logs, thinking that's going to help them against the angels and Yahweh.
Mm-hmm.
So they have a strong delusion. Like Esau actually has a strong delusion, man.
Yeah. Come on. Second Thessalonians chapter 2. You
Uh,
know, that strong delusion. Because we talk about the strong delusions. We only think, oh yeah, that brother he believes that Yahweh Shah is not real. That brother, stuff like that. That is a strong delusion. But another strong delusion, like the brother is bringing out, is Esau's pride, and he can actually fight against the Most High and win. Like, hey, the Most High was kind of making fun of him. Let's go to Isaiah 47.
uh, Look, let me get a two-piece precept real quick. Hold on. I like this right here. Hold on. Joel. Okay, so this is okay. First, I'm gonna get this in Second Esdras 13, right? So this is book of
Mm-hmm.
Second Esdras, chapter 13. Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 5, right? And it reads. Let me see. I'll start at verse 4, and it reads, "And whensoever the voice went out of his mouth, it's talking about Yahweh. All they burned, I heard his voice, like as the earth felleth when it filleth the fire. And after this I beheld, and lo, there was gathered together a multitude of men out of number from the four winds of the heaven to subdue the men that came out of the sea." So that's talking about Yahweh. You're gonna have World War III at the peak of World War III. That's when Yahweh going to come in. Right? You're gonna have all these other nations going to be fighting in the battle of Armageddon. That's going to be the final war. Right? You're gonna have all these other nations in one place, which is Jehoshaphat. Right? The Valley of
Mm-hmm.
Decision. Let me get that real quick. Right, so this is the book of Joel, chapter 3, and verse 2, and it reads, "I will also gather all nations and will bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land." So the Lord, he gonna send a strong delusion on these other nations to come down, the kings of the east, to pass the Euphrates River, and come to the so-called Middle East and the valley of Jehoshaphat, to fight each other. But really, the Most High is just sending them a strong illusion to think they're fighting each other. But really, the Most High is just sending them down there in one place for judgment. That's why it says in Joel 3 and verse I'll start at verse 12, and it reads, "Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, the fats overflow, for the wickedness is great. Multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord is near in the valley of decision." So multitudes and multitudes in the valley of decision, because all these nations going to be in that one spot. But the point I'm trying to get is Esau talking, these other nations talking a good game. But watch this real quick. Hold on, watch this. I'm gonna
Oh,
get to the point. This is the book of Second Esdras, chapter 13, in verse 8, and it reads, I keep going, verse 6, and it reads, but I beheld, and lo, he had graved himself a great mountain and flew upon it. And that great mountain is not an actual mountain. It's talking about a big so-called fathership, a big
Mm-hmm.
chariot, man, right? Like you see on so-called Independence Day, it was that big behind chariot. It looked like, a mountain, right?
Mm-hmm.
Let's keep going though. But I would have seen the region or place whereout the hill was graven, and I could not. And after this I beheld, and lo, all they which were gathered together to subdue him were sore afraid, and yet there's fright. So when they see a house shot come in this big chariot with thousands and thousands of angels, hey man, they're gonna be crapping their pants, right? But there's fright, meaning the Lord gonna have some type of gravitational force to make them come against him still, man. They kind of trying to drive away in their jet, but the Lord kind of pull them to make them fight him, man. Right? So they
Mm-hmm.
talking a good game now. Yes, they got the space force, but in that day they're gonna try to run, but the Lord's not having that, man. They've been talking too much, talking that crap too much. But hey, when it's time, it's time. Come on.
That's right. That's right, man. They're gonna kind of, kind of look at the chariot. Their general is going to be like, "Hey, go! What are you doing?" Right? The soldier's going to be like, you know, kind of nervous. Like what the hell? God. And then that's a good point. And let me bring out this precept, Isaiah 47. If Mosiah was mocking, is mocking Esau, man. All right, this is Isaiah 47, and um I'm gonna start at 11. Therefore shall evil come upon thee. Thou shalt not know mercy without, and mischief shall fall upon thee. Thou shalt not be able to put it off, and desolation shall come upon thee suddenly, which thou shalt not know. Right? Verse 12. Stand now with thine enchantments, and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. So you can tell that the Most High is making fun of Esau. You know, you can tell because he's saying, "Stand now with thine enchantments," right? And because Esau, yes, enchantments, sorceries, and all that magic is real, man. Right? It's real. And I'm not talking about damn magician. He pulls out a damn bird out of his pocket, right? I'm not talking about that. It's talking about what, like these actual witchcraft, right? These people that actually use witchcraft, right? And the Most High said, hey, if so be, maybe you could profit. Maybe you might get one, right? You see that? Verse 13. Thou art weary in the multitude of thy counsels. Meaning Esau, he doesn't know what to do, right? He's weary, right? The damn scientists, professors, I don't know what to do, right? It says, let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. You see that? And Esau already, Slack, the Most already knows that is going to be about to no profit. You know, that's going to be futile. Most I'll just make, stand now with thine damn tanks against my chariots, right? It's not gonna do anything, you know. Come on, come on. Yeah, anything else though? Calm. So, yeah, with that, unless you want to bring out a closing precept.
You bring out closing precept.
Calm.
Revelation, when you get the classic. I used to be, well, it's still kind of my favorite, but Revelation 16 and verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments, lest he walk naked and they see his shame. So the Lord's going to come as a thief when you least expect it, man. So you over here being lukewarm, you're not doing nothing, you're not putting no work in. The Lord going to catch you with your pants pulled down. You can't do nothing about that.
Mm-hmm.
So be on fire, man. Come on. And I'm speaking to myself too.
That's right. That's right. Come, we gotta be on fire, man. Like how it says in Peter, what men are ye to be, right? What are you gonna do, right? You gonna go back into the Lord willing, God forbid we go back into the world, but you know what I'm saying? We should be in these scriptures. We should be as blameless and as holy as possible, you know, in these last days, man. Right? And let me bring this out. Second Thessalonians chapter 1 and verse 6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with God to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you. Right? That's a righteous thing. And who's troubling us? The Israelites. Right? Who's troubling the Israelites? These other nations. So they're gonna have to get it, man. Esau first and foremost, man. The greatest judgment. Right? Verse 7. And to you who are troubled, rest with us when the Lord Yahweh shall be revealed from heaven with his mighty angels. Right? His mighty angels, man. Right? Not some effeminate babies. Mighty angels. Right? Got Michael. Hey, maybe Gabriel might show up. Right? You got Rabba Allah, Uriel, you know. Verse 8. And those are just some of the angels, right? Verse 8. And flaming fire. So they're not coming to bring hugs and kisses and homosexual hugs and stuff like that. They're coming to what? Bring flaming fire, taking vengeance on them that know not God, that don't keep the commandments, right? And that obey not the gospel of our Lord Yahweh Shah Mahashiach, right? Who shall be punished with everlasting destruction. We know that that's not talking about everlasting, right? Meaning forever. It's just talking about, utter destruction, right? Everlasting destruction from the presence of the Lord and from the glory of his power. You see that? So with
Uh-huh.
that, come on. So unless you want to feel that flaming fire, the most I suggest is that you should keep the commandments, keep the faith. All right. So come. So with that, brother Yasha Allah.
Brother Barry.
Khan, coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the spirit and power. Yahweh Bashman Habashah. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom, Kwam Yasha Allah.
On your road.
Khan, keep watching. Khan, I hope all hell break loose.
Cool.
And I hope we get delivered. Khan.